Thanks for coming back to another video on the Final Days channel. Today is May 11th, 2020. Today we will be viewing a rotating striped celestial object. It's really big. And several other sky anomalies not mentioned on mainstream news. These images were taken today from the Alaskan FAA weather cameras. The purpose of this channel is to show the viewers that we are living in the very last days according to the Holy Bible and to explain how to stay safe in these last days. The northeast facing camera located in Nenana, Alaska shows a very large whitish object in the top right corner of the screen. Now keep in mind that technology can blur these objects. They can be blurred completely out of focus. So this is what's happening here. It's being very blurred. We know that the celestial object in the picture cannot possibly be a lens flare of the sun because it's becoming partially illuminated by the light source. A lens flare cannot become partially illuminated by the object causing the lens flare. Let's quickly review 4 facts about lens flares. Lens flares of the sun don't rotate. Lens flares of the sun don't contain craters and heavily textured exteriors. Lens flares cannot go behind clouds or other structures in a picture or video. And 4, lens flares of the sun can never react to sunlight in a picture or video, such as what we are seeing here in this footage, where the celestial object is becoming partially illuminated. The northeast-facing camera at Minks Island shows NASA's light generator, the black dot, casting its reflection upon the water. This proves that the black dot is an actual piece of equipment and not a lighting or camera issue. We also see the pink reflections of the cloaking equipment in the bottom left corner. In the last few frames of this footage, we see the celestial object that is being hidden. We know this can't be a lens flare of the sun because we can see definite surface texture and rotation of this celestial object. Our sun only rotates once every 27 Earth days. The black dot we just saw creates a circular glare. Whenever the real sun is being totally eclipsed, the circular glare is easily blocked out by very small objects, such as this tiny street lamp, or this thin flagpole. Our real sun could never be hidden behind such small objects. Anyone wishing to know where the real sun is in this footage can watch the April 24th video published 2 weeks ago. The sun is blocked out for 4 hours every day from the far north, but this blockage isn't seen from lower latitudes, only in certain northern latitudes. And when the cloud cover is enough to block out the circular glare created by the black dot, all we see is the small light generator. Occasionally, the generator malfunctions. Last year, Russia had 3 hours of pitch-black skies in midday, and the same thing happened in Switzerland on a different day. Here, we see something happening to the light generator. 90 minutes of images were removed from the camera after this frame. And here, the sun appears to be flashing wildly as it crosses the sky in a state of possible malfunction. Be thankful that this was not our real sun flashing in the sky like that, or we would all have been burnt to a crisp. This was captured by the south-facing camera in Anchorage last year. The northeast-facing camera in Sitka captured the red iridescent celestial object that we've seen before. Its striking surface features make its fast rotation obvious. The close-up images show how absolutely enormous this object is. In the Bible's book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25, Jesus clearly tells us that we will see signs in the sky when the end of the age is very near. The east-facing camera in Petersburg captured that same red, iridescent celestial object that we just saw on the northeast-facing camera in Sitka. I'm not sure what makes it look shiny, but this is definitely a sign that we are living in the last days. The southeast-facing camera in Tennecky Springs, Alaska, captured a fast-rotating striped celestial object. It shows up better in the images with contrast applied. And what's really strange is that this object is moving almost in a vertical motion from our perspective. And this is very strange. It's moving slightly from left to right, but mostly up and down. The southeast-facing camera in Ketchikan, Alaska, captured a celestial object with some very striking craters. These craters make the rotation of this orb very obvious. Thus, we know this can't be a lens flare. The close-up images show how enormous this object is compared to the landscape below. I have some new information on this gigantic celestial object that we've been seeing from the same camera in Yukon River Bridge. We know this object can't be a lens flare because in all of the older footage of this same celestial object from this same camera, it is often behind cloud coverage part of the time. Lens flares can never go behind clouds or other structures in a photo or video. Today is the first day I have ever seen this object without any cloud cover. Last month, on April 2nd, we saw a time and size comparison of this object. Last year, we were moving toward this object at a little over 1% per week, but now we are moving away from it at about the same rate, a little over 1% per week. This planetary system is causing many changes to our Earth, such as extreme weather, a record-breaking 45 or 50 volcanoes all erupting at one time, a massive increase in earthquakes, much of which is deleted from the data before it reaches the public, according to many seismologists. Additionally, many earthquake monitors have been turned off, and others have been recalibrated so that they don't register the correct magnitudes. This planetary system is bringing with it more meteorites this summer than any of us have ever seen in our lifetimes. Mainstream media has already been talking about droughts and mega droughts, which will be the cover story for the fires related to the falling meteorites. There will be deceitful cover stories for all of the incoming destruction caused by the close proximity of this planetary system. Do not allow yourself to become deceived. Do your research and be aware of what is really happening. The reason for all the deception is because the enemies of Christ do not want you to know how close to the end we are, nor do they want you to turn your life over to Jesus while you still have time. Information is at the end of this video instructing you on how to accept Christ into your life. All of the destructive events that are coming soon are God's judgments upon a world full of sin and abominations. The good news is that the faithful followers of Christ are not appointed to God's wrath. his judgments, the plagues. Psalms 91 tells us that we will see with our eyes the judgments upon the wicked, but that it will not come near God's faithful remnant of believers. In Luke chapter 21, verse 36, Jesus says, "Watch therefore, and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass." Jesus is referring to God's wrath, the judgments, the plagues. He is saying that those who are counted worthy will escape God's wrath. To be counted worthy, we must be living in holiness. A link in the description box below discusses what holiness is and how to achieve it. These next few screens will tell you how to accept Christ into your life and escape the coming judgments. Simply pause the screens if you need more time to read the text.